Some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. So damn thirsty.
And welcome to the Three Wise Men podcast.
From the DD.
We're live from Dunkin Donuts.
The big one. The big donut shop.
The one and only at should we give away our location?
No.
Absolutely not. So,
Absolutely not.
which is at 18th and Hargan.
We're going to be filming here.
Yeah. We're going to try to do
Conservatism.
we're going to try to do a lot more outdoor shoots, at least outside the normal studio. And we're talking about ultra-conservatism today, or being conservative, otherwise known as being a stuck-up, religious,
Self-righteous.
Anti-conventional,
flag-waving,
anti-establishment, anti-traditional, extremist, radical, revolutionary, nonconformist, advanced, contemporary, modern, lefty, radical, ultra-left, ultra-leftist, ultra-progressive, and ultra-radical.
Well,
and they love to support the troops. Should always put them in harm's way as much as they can.
they do have a character, though, don't they?
Are they any different than liberals?
Ha.
They all have the same.
They're really
That's
the
a hard
same.
one.
It's all the same end, right? Game. It's all leads to fascism or communism or Stalinism, I should say.
It is.
All leads to the same point, right?
Well, hopefully we can enlighten you on what they're about.
All right. So what do we lead off? What's your experience with people that are really conservative?
Well,
How does it make you feel? What do you think about it?
basically that I can't tell them anything.
Can you tell liberals anything?
Well, the bleeding heart liberal, the ultra conservative, obviously you can't quite going to get there because they're just too far gone. But how do you get to them? What do you think they're really all about? What guides them?
They have a belief that no one else is but their belief.
Yeah, but no one else is liberal. But don't you think liberals feel the same way?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
They're right, you're wrong. There's one truth, and that's their truth.
Everybody actually feels the same way. They give a different definition.
I think what comes down, when you feel that what you're doing is common sense, you're going too far in one direction.
You're going too far in one
We
direction.
could do it in your backyard, but don't do it in my yard.
No, I don't think that. As long as it's on an individual basis.
Well, that's the problem. Both their sides are not individual at all.
Well,
they
they're
say they
not.
are not.
They're completely
It's groupthink. It's groupthink.
Group thinking. But again, let's get back to the smallest minority is the individual. It's not a group.
Yeah, wow.
It's always the individual. Is the smallest minority on earth.
Okay, where do we go from there?
Well, Billy, do you feel that you're an individualist?
Sure. Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
How about you?
Sure.
Yeah.
But we're
Well, I
not
guess-
ultra conservatives, we're not ultra liberals. We're the exception.
Yeah, but we do make
Based
it
on the definition, we're a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
Sure, we go by what we think is right, how we know. But those people that are mostly ultra conservative or mostly over crazy liberal, they don't really believe. There's no real truth to them. So they believe most of the time is crazy. It's an extreme thought where thought and really reason kind of leaves the window a little bit. You know.
Yeah, but I base my belief on reasoning and understanding
Exactly.
and logic.
Well, those groups, that's more groupthink, where they just they go to one side or the other.
Yeah.
They can't be the middle because they can't do it. They got to pick a side. When in reality, this gray area is really fucking big. It's a big fucking gray area in most subjects. You can't just pick one side or the other. What they do is they just either got one side extreme or the other side extreme, and they just, especially with America today, it's pulling in both directions. There's no reason in the middle. There's no let's get something done because both sides are the enemy. My way or the highway type
Are
thing.
are liberals and ultra conservatives both pro-choice?
They can be, but mostly conservatives are mostly considered pro-life. I mean, they want the kids to live and all. But most of them are also pro-death too. But as far as the death penalty is concerned, then you go on the liberal side. You have some people that are kind of pro-life, but they feel that I shouldn't be deciding that for somebody else. They don't feel it's not really a religious ingrained religious thing that child's a real life, and even though it's like the size of your tip of your finger, it's really a human.
Yeah.
They don't quite believe that. It's not as prevalent in liberalism as far as in America.
What puts you into that category? Let's say what leads people to become that? Because you're not born.
They put
that.
themselves there because there's only two sides there is, as far as America, right?
Yeah.
At least
But
today,
it's also
the last 50 years or so.
The living conditions too. I mean, if you're born.
Well, the problem is you're born poor, you're getting helped by the government. You're going to support the government. When you're going to want this government to help you more, you're going to be more liberal. It's a simple fact. I mean,
but don't you believe on both ends they're both extreme?
When you go to both ends,
Because
sure.
they
both lead to
forcible.
totalitarian. Yeah, totalitarianism.
So
yes.
really, basically, it's the same.
In the extremes.
It is.
Yeah.
In the extremes.
And they're used to divide and conquer, like everything else.
Yeah.
My way or the highway.
Well, that's their method.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer.
Johnny might lose 5, 10, 15 pounds today in here. It's so hot in here. They turned
It's
the
like
heat up on
sweating
us.
here,
Yeah, turn the heat up on us.
They're cooking donuts for no one.
We have the hot seat here. If anybody wants to sit down.
Nah, there's somebody in there right
nobody here now that we can invite in. But,
It'd be great to get a... Well, Joe, forget about Joe over there.
yeah.
Forget about that.
The phrase
We
bumping
can-
the
we can
log comes to
Karapucci
mind.
there, forget
The
about
phrase
that.
bumping the log comes to mind.
All right, when you think of ultra-conservative in government,
You think of Margaret Thatcher, you think of Ronald Reagan, even though it's by today's standards, they weren't even that ultra conservative.
no.
They weren't. We like have fantasies that Reagan was this
George
big
Bush.
no tax guy, but in reality, he raised taxes.
George Bush.
George Bush was full of shit either way.
What would you consider Obama?
Obama, I would say socially 100% liberal, obviously.
Yeah.
Conservatively, as far as military spending and all that, and the typical definition of it, ultra conservative. He's just
So
doing
you-
whatever side.
This is our point when we were talking last.
I think it's all facades. It's a false
Freedom.
paradigm. It's a false paradigm.
It's a false paradigm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the ultra conservatives.
It's made the
True political field. They let you hear what you want to hear, but they give you.
they call it the bubble. They call it the
Yeah.
bubble. Where you only hear what you want to hear.
lie to you.
You only listen to your own
We
sources.
all lie to people.
Well, yeah.
Because we all live
in
our
our
own
own
truths.
way. We all lie to people.
You know what I
guess.
mean? Because
Yeah.
our truth is to lie to you, maybe.
But what
My
it's come
truth could
down
be
to
your
is
lie.
that
You know what I mean?
I'll put it this way: what it really come down to, what really separates it from that, is that say we're all looking at, say there's 20 people in here, we're all looking at a car crash into that fence over there.
Yeah.
Well, the way they look at it is they got to have their own truth, and it can't be the same as ours. So they'll have to tell you that car didn't crash. They'll tell you the fence crashed into the car. And you go, that's fucking ridiculous. Well, that's what they believe because they can't believe what we believe. And literally, it's that fucking ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, but that's on either end. You're not talking about just.
I'm talking to both ends. They have to disagree.
Oh, yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
Of course, it's all about. It's all.
So you're
false
telling them they
conflict.
lack logic and common sense.
When you have conflict, what do you have? You have fear,
Sure you
and
do.
you have control.
Yeah.
Well, what you're telling me, John, then I can't reason with the person.
No, you can't. I don't believe you can.
What both of them lack, seriously, is communication, too. Because
They lack the want. They lack the want to communicate.
But there's only one way thinking.
If they believe the other person's evil, it doesn't really matter. You don't want to.
No. It's unilateral thinking is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not bilateral thinking whatsoever. And they're completely against
yeah, well,
really
in
freedom.
bilateral thinking, you have an open mind.
Well, that's
You can
more. It's
say-
more prevalent
you
on the
invite-
ultra conservative side.
You invite conversation.
Well, you do.
You know, of course.
But the thing is, it's more prevalent on the ultra conservative side than I think it is on the liberal side. They're more closed off than liberals are more. It's more of a bigger tent than liberals, I think.
Yeah.
Which are including a whole lot of shit in there.
Uh-huh.
But they too are closed minded to most things, of course. But conservatism, basically, it's my way or the highway. Sad the way that's the way it's become.
You're telling me that the ultra conservative is actually a gang member.
What do you mean?
Well, they're in their own little pocket.
Well,
And-
again,
They're afraid of change. They're
and
afraid of
to
anything.
change, and and they stick together as far as like a membership in a sense. They don't go out of that.
That's why they don't listen to their own news.
Yeah.
They get their own sources to read, and they're in a fucking bubble.
Yeah, they're in a bubble.
Man,
They're- yeah.
both sides too. Both sides. You know?
listen, if a
Yeah.
cult is being stuck in a thing, if you're stuck in a paradigm, then you're a cult, I believe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
You ever see some of those people that go to those political conventions? The look
Yeah.
on their face, the clap and the smile and the tears.
Yeah.
You're telling me it's not a cult? Really?
Yeah.
Come on, it's a cult. It's a cult.
Well, that's why I'm saying you can't stigmatize any one group. Like my family's a cult.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have rebellion.
Well, to be
within the
fair,
cult.
you're not forced. Like, you can say I'm leaving. See,
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is everybody. Everybody has. Everybody.
it's a
can leave.
following. It's a following.
Everybody can leave.
Yeah. You could remove yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same definition of a cult, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do they say? A cult. What's that mean? I duct tape you in the room?
Well, you're
Is that a
forced
cult?
and cajoled, both physically and mentally, to be there.
How are you controlled? That's what I don't understand.
As far as a political group, well, if you're so into that group and you realize some sort of truth applies to you there, you get far in and you have to believe all the other shit involved to it. That's a lot of times too. They join conservatives because they're for one thing.
So you're locked in
they got to
mentally?
pick a side. Oh yeah, it's fucking nuts, but it's true.
So, when you're in my house and I tell you, John, you can't sit on my couch, you can't eat that certain food, all right? And you're stuck in my house, you're part of my cult then, right?
Yeah, but you could remove yourself.
No, I'm kidnapped.
No, you're not kidnapped. The door's still open.
I can walk out.
What I'm saying is, a cult says that you're stuck there, but you're really not. You're really not.
A cult's there to
stuck in your mind.
I think the definition of a cult's a little. I'm not going to be exact, but a definition of a cult's a little different.
I think they're inside fear. I think you're afraid of yourself.
Nah.
You're afraid of yourself. You believe in
A cult is using belief structure to use and control its members for like their own purposes. Kind of like the leader uses them.
I agree.
That's kind of what I'm not exact. I don't want to see the exact definition of a cult, but that's pretty much what it says.
It's really weird because no matter what we do in this friggin' world, we could tie ourselves into a belief system or a
Ism
paradigm.
and ism.
An ism.
We all believe our own bullshit one way or another.
We do. We're always lying to each other.
I get a 12-inch dick.
Yeah.
That happens to be true, but I'm just
We're
saying.
always lying. Yeah, because it's really 13.
Exactly.
Fucked up.
It's very fucked up.
Very much so.
But
So what do you want to do? Should we hang ultra-conservatives? Should we hang liberals? Should we kill everybody?
I think generationally, you got to wait for the generation to die out.
Look, no
It's
hostility.
a generational thing. You ain't got to get nobody over the age of 40 to switch sides. It's not going to happen.
You know,
Very rare.
anything. You're just a person.
We're individuals. We can't
Yeah, but
relate
you
to
got-
ourselves. It's
even
very
though-
hard.
even
It's very
though-
hard.
As long as I'm not injured physically, okay, my mental status is that I'm not going to let you in to injure me.
Exactly.
Okay, and the thing is that
Look who's here.
yes,
Who's that?
Joe.
okay.
Joe, come here, Joe. Let's get his viewpoint on it.
Yes.
Joe, sit here. Tell us your viewpoint on ultra-conservatism.
We're talking. We did one podcast on ultra liberalism. Now we're doing one on conservatism.
That's all, folks.
Come on, Joe. This is great. Come on, be
Well,
serious.
is that Daffy Duck or maybe Porky Pig?
Speak into it, though. Come on, you're going to put me on YouTube.
No.
You're already on YouTube. You're already on tube. You're already on the camera. You might as well talk.
This is convoluted thinking. I can't do
No,
this.
it's not.
Listen, we're just talking about.
Okay, tell you what. Tell them why you don't want to be on there.
Because of the epicranus and the frontalis, when you hit the bypass, a pie costs about 12 cents. Ain't that what they're talking about, huh?
No, wait.
No, no.
Listen, the ultra conservative.
Do you know
what
who
do you
I am?
feel about the ultra conservative?
Leslie Obenhay, whatever her name is. You know who I am? Don't lock me up, please. Do you know who I am? Yeah, I really can't handle this. Listen, I am not. Listen, first of all,
How did you become an ultra conservative? That's what we want to know.
well, listen. First,
Would you
of all,
consider yourself that?
I'm very honored to sit among these three brilliant minds. Myself, I have an IQ. I owe 11 points. I took an IQ test, didn't do well, but here with these young gentlemen, they're all ultra conservatives.
No.
Oh no,
We're individualists.
some are liberalists. Are you
Well,
liberal?
I don't think we're either.
No.
We're not liberal.
Well, listen, we're all a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's true.
Anthony's ticklish, but that doesn't mean anything. Why are we doing what? You want to make? Listen, you guys are serious. At least
We're
I'm
not
bringing
gonna
some
put-
levity. Some levity in this.
We're not crossing the line. We're not going to get into religion. We're just doing
No
politics.
religion. No, I'm not
religion.
an ultra conservative. I'm not a liberal. You know what I am? I look out for
An
me.
individualist? Are you an individualist?
I'm an
Individualist.
individualist. But not that I have not that I depend on my own individuality. I have to think of others too, which means I have to be part of the group. So if you're going to benefit other people, you have to get intelligent, as these three are, for the idea of helping other people, which they do. Anthony's always helping someone walking through Dunkin Donuts. I mean, he'll converse with a fire plug if you give him a chance.
Wait.
But he does try to help people. But not all people understand Anthony. He's not aggressive. Yeah, he's not aggressive. Anthony is a very friendly, extroverted, kind young gentleman with the hat. You know, look at the hat.
Yeah.
You understand? But
Okay. But tell me one thing. Now,
Anthony's going to interview me. I always watch out when he interviews
in
you.
life, then you have different approaches by people to, let's say, lead you a different way?
I still have those approaches by people to lead me a different way. But the thing is I'm not. I don't live in naivety. I'm not naive.
No, but didn't politics have, let's say, it had an impact?
They all sleep in the same bed, drink the same wine. They all hang out together. I don't have any confidence, especially in this administration, in politics.
Well, at one time,
I don't like progressive government. I think by the people, for the people, of the people. I think that the people should have a voice. And anyway, we don't have a voice
biased
now.
Biased.
Of course, it's a biased opinion, but it's not based upon me just being biased. It's based upon the truth. You don't have a voice. I don't have a voice anymore.
So you think
Big government.
The people don't have a voice at all?
Big government. We don't have a voice anymore. We lost that voice. Why did we lose it? Because we're the ones that voted certain people in position.
So now you think that government is big business then?
No, it's progressive government, which means they're going to control the rest of us. And they keep giving these entitlements away, and that's how they control you. And then the next thing they are going to control after politics is they have to control religion, because the two go together. Look at history. You have.
They're all isms. All isms.
Don't bring
Isms.
religion into this.
I'm not bringing religion in. I'm just making a point. You have to control religion and politics. Otherwise, you don't have control. Look at your history books, and you'll see that. Now, am I finished here? Because I don't know if I
How would you fix
anything.
the problem? How would you fix the problem the way you sit?
How would I fix
Is
the
it
problem?
fixable? Is it fixable?
I would hold those in position accountable, beginning wherever we can begin, but at least start. We're not doing that. We're not holding people accountable. We're not being told the truth. When we ask a question, we need an answer. Especially, that was so long ago. Those kind of answers.
Accountable when there's nobody else over them to supersede that.
Well, that's the problem, you see.
We don't have a say. We don't have
We're the pawns in the games, and like I would say, it's good to be the king.
What you're telling me, freedom of speech has been taken away.
Of course, it's been a long time ago. There's no freedom of speech. We have a very biased. We have a very biased news people. They're not reporting. They're not
biased
reporters anymore. They're very
It's for
biased.
entertainment. They do it for money, for entertainment. They're not doing it
It's
to report
entertainment.
news.
It's not reporting. If you're a reporter, you're supposed to report the facts, not come up and and hide things and lie to the people, and that's what they're doing.
And then you're telling me that society is becoming robotic conditioning.
That's been happening. That's part of the process, my friend. That's been happening. And even though you sit here, it's going to affect you too, because you're too small of an entity to do anything. But the thing is, if more people would wake up and understand and watch everything, pay attention to everything, instead of just secluding themselves to certain opinions, look for the facts, folks.
But I think it's so hard to do that because it's so easy to corrupt people nowadays. They control the means of communication.
People are corrupt today because they enjoy the corruption that the benefits they receive from those corruptions.
That's the problem. It's so easy to corrupt. That's very hard for people to get together and not be corrupted.
Yeah, but see, at the
Take
end,
the Tea Party, for instance. They're a big example.
Absolutely. At the end, you're going to have to pay the toll. See, because you've been desensitized. Desensitized is the word?
Desensitized.
Desensitized is what you're being, and you're being conned, and you're being lured in to begin to
desensitize the bullshit.
It will eventually lead into mental slavery.
Have you lost trust in
mental
leadership of the
slavery.
country?
Well, of course I have. I mean, everybody has if you have a half a brain. Only because of the evidence of what we see. That's based on the economy. It's based on what they're selling us, what they're not telling us. We're not getting that. We're not getting the information the way we were promised to get it. It was going to be a very transparent
Society?
No. Administration, and that's not true.
Do you think there's a difference between a real conservative and a real liberalism? Do you think they meet some way? Do you think there's an actual difference? Their end goal?
You're talking moderates. There's no moderates anymore. The Democrats at one time were moderate, okay? They made an extreme swing to the left, and because that extreme move to the left, a lot of people have got on that because of entitlements. 54 million people in this country are receiving benefits from the government. So as long as that's going to take place, those people are going to vote those people in that are giving them those things.
Dependency culture, yeah.
Listen, We're making our country lazy. We're going to be a third world country soon, and that's one of the reasons why. This is a capitalistic country, which means you can go out and do anything you want to do if you put your head to it. You want to go to college? It's hard for you to go to college. You don't have the money. You work 2 jobs until you get through that college. Or you pursue something that's going to be beneficial to the rest of the world, like medicine or something like that. But this is a country you could do it in. But this country is not going to remain like this too much longer because of what we see. The evidence is out there. Americans are asleep. Americans are asleep. This program, I hope, wakes people up. Listen, at the bottom line, you're responsible.
Absolutely.
You're responsible for yourself. You can't blame the rest of the world. You're responsible for yourself. The only problem is there's very few people that understand that will stand responsible.
Very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
So
We're just talking about that, the blame game. They'll blame the fence if somebody crashes into the fence.
They can't agree because you just can't agree because they villainize the other side. In reality, it's a false dynamic to begin with.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, to have real freedom, there has to be parameters and boundaries to have
Some laws that make a more perfect union.
Fewer laws.
And
We have too many.
Well, right now,
And our country has
Possible.
said that because of freedom of speech, that we have a free will. Free will and responsibility are very compatible. So you have to understand that, which people in America have fallen asleep. We're a very spoiled country.
they don't know where they came from. People don't know where they came from.
How many?
Do we really have free will
Well,
in this country anymore?
well, you have free will to an extent, but it's not going to affect anything because it doesn't get into the mainstream. Yes, you do have free will. You make a decision. You have a choice in everything you do, whether it's going to make you suffer or whether it's going to make you happy. But this whole idea that we all got to be happy is ridiculous.
Well,
It's ridiculous.
It's the pursuit of happiness,
not-
not happiness.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe. But the pursuit of happiness also incorporates the better welfare of others around you. Okay, we're not an entity to ourselves. We just can't stay in our own little world. We're automatically going to affect other people. Other people are going to affect
Well,
us.
laws of nature. You affect everything.
Laws of
You make the
nature.
laws to make sure you can all live.
But don't you think that if we do pursue our dreams, that we do affect people?
Yeah, but you got to pursue the dream, bro.
Exactly. No,
but we
I
have a
understand
good country.
We have an excellent country.
Okay.
It's not the country that's the problem. It's the people. You understand? It's the people. It's
that.
society.
I'm on board 100% with
Where the people are changing
So you
this
don't blame
country.
leaders.
Yeah, leaders are. Listen, you want to blame leaders? Who put the leaders there?
We vote them in.
Well, then let's-
Democracy, you'd
let's-
pick your own
let's spread
asshole, pretty
around.
much. Yeah.
Let's spread it around. Let's not just blame the leaders.
No, it's
I'm
us.
not for this administration, but I say it's all of us. You see,
So you're just saying
We are-
democracy doesn't work.
yeah.
It really doesn't.
If you're not educated, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't care, you're dependent on it. You don't care. You're gonna.
Democracy never did work. You got to have a republic. Yeah.
You have a republic.
You have to have a
Checks and
voice.
balance.
Listen, first of all, when they came out with lobbyists, I am not represented.
That was the worst thing in the world.
You understand? When they instilled lobbyists, it became a merchandise government.
They wrote about this in the Federalist Papers. They wrote all about this.
Well, I don't know
Nobody
that, but
listened.
I'm saying I could see it. I mean,
Were our lobbyists mercenaries?
absolutely. But they're all there for hire. There's big money involved in that. We're sitting at this table. None of us have a lobbyist. We don't. Can't afford.
We can pull all the money together. We're not going to equal one lobbyist.
How are you going to
Can't-
afford a
we can't-
lobbyist?
Yeah, but the government is supposed to be our lobbyist.
That's exactly.
The government is supposed to be our lobbyist.
They're being
we're
bought out.
we're putting in people we say that we trust with making decisions that's going to benefit the rest of us. So we put those people in. When they don't do what they say they're going to do, they should be removed.
Well, this is where the transparency
You know what I
comes
mean?
in.
What
It's no
transparency?
transparency.
There is no
There is
transparency.
The whole
none.
system's opaque.
Yeah, it's
There's no truth anymore. There's a whole bunch of different shit. It's hard to find the truth. It really is.
And I hope they don't put me on my picture because I have many fans that would disagree with me.
But really, then what do you do as a country? We
You're on the
understand all
truth
this
here.
stuff.
We want the truth.
What could you
truth.
do? You can only change one person at a time, like you said.
The truth has got to be based on facts, not my opinion. It's got to be based on facts. Now, if you look at the facts, you'll know the truth. But if you're not looking, if your eyes are closed, how are you ever going to discover anything? A blind man walks in a ditch and he takes another blind man to fall in with them. So the thing is, where do you start all over again? You got to start paying attention. You got to be involved in your own country.
How do you get people to pay attention? Just to start the school systems?
Well, the thing is it starts right here. You affect one person. I'll affect one person, you affect person. That person will affect another person. But you see, we've been trained not to do that.
You need a chain reaction, yeah.
You need to be sharing with one person that can share with one person. Get educated on the facts and then take it from there. Don't listen to what the news is telling you, because the news is no longer reporting the truth. Without the truth, you can't decide or make a decision on anything. It's always going to be an inaccurate truth. All right, gentlemen, my time is ending here. This is Joe Panisi signed off. Joe Panisi signing off. I have to go.
How about the news people? How about the news people which are battling each other? They're over there saying that news reporter is not telling the truth, and they see different views. So you have the news media itself battling against each other.
Yeah, but there again, if you're watching those
it goes to the basic fact that a news organization is there to entertain. It's not there to report the truth. They want to get viewers. That's all they're there for. And they'll say whatever the fuck they got to do to get the viewer. That's what their goal is.
Yeah, but it's very simple. It's very simple that a very uneducated man can figure it out. Where is the evidence? Show me the money. You could say what you want. You could talk as flowery if you want. You can have all kinds of letters, PhD, MOUSC, behind your name. It doesn't mean anything if I don't see the evidence. What am I, an idiot?
Could you provide some references for people who want to educate themselves? Seriously.
My time here is ending. I gotta go. Listen, this is supposed to be a 10-minute thing, right? I've been here 25 minutes.
We're on for 40. We're on for an hour.
Doesn't matter. When you speak the truth is unending.
There you go.
That's profound. That's one of the best things I heard.
That shock that came from.
No, I'll tell you. That's
No, that's profound.
What was that, Johnny?
No.
Yeah, but see, with Anthony, he's sincere, Anthony. He's sincere, and I know what Anthony's experiencing. He's very sincere, but he's always fighting an uphill battle.
Not really. I fought a downhill battle.
Right now, you're fighting. Fighting an uphill
I
battle.
fought for my life.
If I'm talking about now.
And also for other
You're
people's
fighting
lives.
an uphill valley. If not, you're uphill battle. If not, you're laying in the valley doing nothing. You understand? Peaks and valleys, brother. What you learn on the mountain, you got to bring down to the valley, because that's reality.
Okay.
Okay. And I know, Anthony, your sincerity is causing you always to be in that uphill battle. And we're all in the same battle.
Could that be because of the people around me?
No, it's because of the evidence of the things that are taking place. You're not unobservant. You're seeing what's taking place, and that's where your view or your perspective or your comments are coming from. It's what you see. I mean, if I put you in a closet and closed the light and left you sit there for 6 months, you wouldn't know what the heck went on for 6 months. Unfortunately, many people in America are doing
This
that.
is what Anthony said. People are committing social suicide. He said suicide is when you can't see yourself. When you can't see yourself, you want to kill what you can't see.
That's right.
He said that. It makes sense.
I heard that quote.
No, you didn't.
No.
Yeah, that came from two midgets in a house.
Well, you must have had him in the closet.
They were very
You had him in
short-handed.
the closet, right?
No, listen, guys. I have to go. Really, I have places to go, people to see.
Yeah,
My
most
time
people
here is
live in
ending.
a lonely island in the fog.
Listen, we give you a credibility in your statements today, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Hey, among this group, I feel honored.
And
No, I'm serious. Listen, I say that. No, that's just genuine.
I agree with 90% of what you said.
There's a lot of mind here, but
Yeah, 90% of what he said. I agree 90% of what you said, and that's a high agreement.
that's big from you,
Yes.
Anthony. Yeah.
Okay.
The other 10% keep to yourself.
All the profound statements we make. Look. All the profound statements.
I can't read
We walk in a garden of fresh herbs every day, passing by ingredients that will change our lives. We smell and see them, but we keep on walking.
I'm sure you've done that.
Because the people in this country are being reduced to helplessness. But that's not true. You don't have to be helpless. Listen, you have to start somewhere. So if you're aware of what's going on, then it has to start with you.
That's what I'm saying.
It has to start with you.
Yeah,
It has to start with
How
you.
can start the kids? Because the kids, the you that you're talking about is not the you anymore. It's the system's you. And they're teaching their kids that. I'm seeing this.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? So
Colleges.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
There is a way to do it, but how do you do it?
Well, you have to reach one person first. As you reach that person will reach another person, and then eventually it'll trickle down to the kids. You know what I mean?
But that doesn't put values into kids.
Kids listen to kids. They don't listen to adults.
So
Check your own record.
If you have
Did your
kids
mother
in
and
front of
father
you
know
and-
anything when you were growing up?
If you have kids in front of you and you're tutoring them, the first thing you're going to instill in them is values.
Yeah, you're going to instill those values. That's your family, where you have some control. You don't have control over other people's children. You don't, because when they get out with their peers are going to mock them. They're going to make fun of them. And what's going to happen? The peers become the family. They become the mentors, and you're the old-fashioned one. And these kids today, I feel bad for them because they have no social life.
No
they
values.
sit in a room. They play on a video all day. They don't know what they don't know. You know what happens when you don't have a social life? You're not creative any longer. As long as we continue on this course of not being creative, sooner or later,
100%
everything what Anthony said will die. I'm out of here, Joe Panisi.
Joey?
Dunkin Donuts, 18th.
Pleasure,
Oregon
Joe.
Avenue. Saturday
again.
afternoon, 11. I got to go buy flowers for my wife, or I'll be beaten.
Joey,
I'll be beaten.
Joey, it was a pleasure.
Where's this go?
This is online. It's on YouTube. We're going online.
Listen, you want to change the world one person at a time, or you just help do it? Very smart individual here.
I don't.
He taught us. He's our mentor.
Yeah, right. When I leave, they're going to talk about me.
No, we don't, Joe. No.
That's what I'm saying.
We're going to bring you back for This Is Your Life.
No, Joe, no,
also.
This is your life.
In all
We're gonna
seriousness,
bring you
we
back
really-
for that.
We really do try to do this to do exactly what you said. If we could reach one or two people and they could say, hey, listen to this. And, we do a lot of crappy stuff. We joke around and stuff. But this is like...
That mic smell like ass. I don't know if you noticed that.
On a serious note, we really want to try to convey this kind of material to people out there so that they do wake up.
Exactly. And people aren't watching shows like this. They're not watching shows like this. Because this is going to bring you to responsibility. This is going to make you face yourself so that you can face your nation. This is what this is going to do. And people don't like responsibility. You know what I mean? And the way this country is going, listen, sad to say, but if we keep going the way we are, we're going to be a third world country soon.
We are.
We're going to lose our sovereignty, okay, because we compromise with too many.
We're being debt. We're being debt to the United Nations.
We're already in debt. We're going to lose our sovereignty because we're so concerned about what the other countries think of us. We're not taking care of the people in this country. We're pouring our money in other countries that don't like us. We're actually... Listen, I can go on and on and on, but I don't have 3 hours.
Do you think the government's funding drugs to undermine it?
I have no comment on that.
Yes, you do.
No, because the government's going to see this thing, and you know what's going to happen? They're going to come after you and those two. I mean, no, I don't have any comment on that. That's conjecture as far as that's strictly conjecture. Yeah.
They were caught selling the drugs in L.A. They were literally
have a good
fucking
country,
caught
we have good
red-handed.
government.
The CIA selling the
Good
drugs.
country. We have a good government.
We have a good country. We have a good structure. We have a good structure.
It got corrupted. It just got corrupted.
We have a good structure
areas,
for
certain
government,
areas, but
and
we have a good
listen,
government.
there are good men in politics. There are good men in the government. There just aren't enough of them. That's what it is. There's not enough of them. They have to make a stand as well as we're supposed to take a stand. So if you require a stand from me, then you have to take a stand as well. You have to lead by example. I don't get involved with the particular personal name because I tell you what, I don't know what these guys are saying. They talk out of the side of their mouth, the front of their mouth, and they talk over their shoulder. I want to talk to someone that's going to tell me how they're going to work with the evidence that I'm seeing. What are you doing about this? That's all.
Starts local, though. Does start local.
Local, nationally. I mean, why are we changing the curriculum in schools? Why are we doing certain things in schools? Why are we doing that? What was wrong with the way the people in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s were brought up, where there was moral conduct?
Civics.
Where-
Civics. They
Told you
taught
about conduct.
civics.
Yeah, where there was respect for the woman. You know what I mean? What happened to that? Because we don't care. People don't care.
You got to tweet. You got to tweet and Facebook.
No responsibility, no accountability. That's a problem.
Well, Anthony always said, tell me what you always say about the school. What classes did they stop in school?
Well, the first thing that you have is, let's say you go into school, and the very first thing that you look at is conduct. And conduct takes in control, which is self-control. It takes in obedience, okay? And then not only that, when you have that, you have attendance. So meaning that all those are a set of your character. If you don't have that character analysis already developed, all right, then the tutor has to instill them into you. Now, if you fail at that, because that's your first sheet, okay, the academic levels start off after that. If you don't have that, you can't, let's say, coincide with a group session of people, all right, meaning that the other people that you have that are going to be participants in the school, in the system, are going to fail because of you. You know, the one bad apple.
Yeah, but learning does.
Is that like structured socialism, and we're in a radical socialist society?
What?
You know what I'm saying?
You know, we're trying to define what's going on. But let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Learning doesn't stop in the classroom.
It doesn't.
It has to be taken out in the practical life. You know what I mean? Here's reality right here.
Yeah.
Can I pay my mortgage? You know, do I have a job? That's reality right now. That's the most urgent reality right now. We need to be doing something about that. Instead of supplying all these other countries, and you know what? They don't care about your help. They just want your help, but they don't care about your help. You know? So the thing is, you got to begin at home. If I can't feed my own children, how can I feed other people?
Exactly.
So the thing is it doesn't stop in the classroom. That doesn't matter. You can have the greatest teacher, scientist, prophet in a class. If that isn't carried out in the way that I walk, in the way that I live, in the actions of my life, it means nothing. You know what it is? Useless information. An encyclopedia of useless information.
Right.
And now I must go, for real. See you later. I love everybody out there.
All right, Joe. Take care, Joe.
No, levity. You got to have
It was a pleasure.
Sure you do. We have that.
Yeah, of course you do.
People-
I think this was very good.
People,
Don't talk bad about me.
this is man. We won't, Joe. He's kung fu fighting.
be on next
I don't
couple
know.
days. Next couple days on YouTube.
We got 3 of them, 2 of them ahead
Oh,
of
that's
us.
right, yeah.
But we can put this one on. You put this one in front.
No, I want to do the higher more. Done with the two.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you when it's
We'll
up.
tell you. Next
I
week
got
we'll
a
tell
friend of
you.
mine in Virginia. He would like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just search 3 Wise Men podcast or South Philly Truth. Either one.
Joe, you're right, Joe. He knows karate, not crazy.
Yeah.
He actually practiced with Chuck Norris.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
did. He studied with Chuck Norris. Joe, you want to get in here? Tell us about the cell phone you received. Come on.
Oh God.
No, it's perfect. This is perfect.
Yes.
It fits in. It blends in. Come on.
But we just
Come
have
on. Don't be shy.
we just had
Come
Joe
here. Sit
Panisi
in the
now,
hot seat. We had Joe Panisi in here. Now we have our
Okay.
girl. Oh,
Good
Anthony's
speaker.
favorite girlfriend.
and
You got to announce yourself to the world here. Come on. This is Anthony's favorite girl.
no. All right. How are you?
Come on, sit down, baby. We have 15 minutes of conversation.
Nice to see you.
Oh, glad to see
How's
you.
everything, Elaine? All right?
Listen, so what do you think about our government?
Our government, it sucks.
Why is it so?
Why? I'm going to tell you. First of all, they're letting all these terrorists come into our country
Okay, come
and
on.
destroy our country. They become American citizens, and they want to bomb everything.
You got to talk into this sucker. Watch my like shit.
And they want you to since they become American citizens, they want the terrorists to get a nice
Speak in here
burial service. I can't understand. Why didn't they go to their
You
country
think
and do
terrorists should
that?
have voting rights?
No, I do not.
How about the Mexicans coming over the border with no blue card, with no green cards?
No, I do not. And it's amazing. You go to their country and you ask for the same thing that's going here. You want to open a business. You want to make money, just like a regular, become one of their citizens. And you know what they'll do? They'll get a knife or shoot you right on sight. And say,
Now-
go home, Yankee.
Let's elaborate now. You got a cell phone from the government. What do you think about the cell phone?
Well, it's good in one way. It helps out for those who can't afford it. Those who are unemployed.
Do you think the appropriation of those funds is a benefit to the people?
Yes, to help the people, yes.
It is?
The
Well,
ones that
tell
are
me something. I know you have a lot
homeless
of there's a certain amount of negativeness that you're speaking about. But did you ever think about getting citizenship in another country? Maybe going to another country?
Yes, I have.
You have? Mm-hmm. Okay. Where would you go?
Well, I would go to where my parents were born in Italy.
Okay. All right.
I tried that. It didn't work out.
All right. Well,
I got a job and they let me go because they couldn't afford to pay me in their euro.
John's baffled right now. I don't know what to say.
John, do you think there are other places that maybe would be better than, let's say, the country that we have, as far as citizenship?
John, I think you're stuck right now.
And
You gotta get it out. Flush the toilet.
who would, let's say, release citizenship to you and give you more rewarding area
come on, here,
than America?
Look at that.
Well, I'm an American citizen. That's the only citizen I'm of. Most countries are not as lenient as us. They don't just let anybody in. I can't come a citizen of France or anywhere in Europe. That's just not going to happen.
Right.
Like, who am I going to go to? China, maybe? Become
Joe
like a
Panisi
national
was
type
in
thing?
the
Possible.
house.
But I don't know Chinese.
Right.
I would have to learn that. I've learned the culture. And could that work? Maybe. But do I really want to live there? To live in a strange land my whole life?
Okay, here's
or
the
live somewhere where I lived and
Here's
born?
the question. Since we just talked with Joe,
Yeah.
and we know where our country's headed, where it is right now, what language do you think, if you had a young one growing up in this world right now,
Would be more appropriate to speak, let's say, as a secondary language.
Mandarin.
Mandarin,
Or
yeah.
Cantonese.
Right.
Now, what number do you think that English is going to be on the phone in the next 20 years?
In this country, it's going to be 50-50 Spanish and English.
No, I don't mean that. What number, when you call a credit card companies, when they ask you what language you speak, is English going to move on that number list?
It will still be number one. You want to know why? Because we're the ones needing the credit.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good point, John.
Yeah. Definitely.
Good point.
Yeah.
China don't need any credit. Yeah, it is.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Definitely.
No, it's all right. How you doing? How you doing? Good.
How's one?
Good. Everybody's good. Good. Yeah, I will. Take care.
I also don't understand when the foreigners come in here and they open a business and our government give them lots of money to invest in their
Point.
property.
I think that there's a lot of people that come here with money, though.
No,
Not
but
all
there's
the
special
time.
conditions. There's
Yeah.
special conditions. She's right.
And I can't understand why we can't get a loan to open a business and be entrepreneurs where they can come in and don't pay no taxes.
Well, to be fair, when they come in, they don't get loans from the government per se. They actually get loans from their own organizations. They have little societies, like the Puerto Rican, they also always like Mexican shops, little corner stores. They're run by Mexicans, like the little mob. They give them out money and
Why
they.
does the government have 8A contracts? You know what 8A contracts are?
8A con-
Minority-owned contracts.
Yeah.
Well, it's minorities.
They
That's
set
affirmative
them up
contract.
For 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They set them up, and you know what the failure rate is?
Oh, I'm
It's
sure.
about 98% after 5 years.
Of course, it's free half the time. It's set up.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
Billy, there's a certain amount of work that they have to funnel into that contract. Okay, because like they work together and they do work.
The government is system through the whole thing. Through the
I
whole
believe
process.
it. I believe
Yes,
it.
they do.
Through the whole process,
Yes,
and
they
I'm
do.
telling you, we have 8A contracts. They're called 8A contracts.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, it's a shame, but that's the way it works.
So the opportunities, let's say, are better for, let's say, the immigration,
It
or for the
actually not-
immigrant.
It is. It is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when it comes to they don't want to support the people who are living in this country,
That's correct.
Yeah.
who want to start a business, who can't get small business loans. That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that if you learn how to devise a business plan and you can pitch it to angel investors and stuff like that, because I can't stand when people say that you need money to make money. It's bullshit. You know how to write. If you know how to write a business plan, and you have a structured idea, you could pitch that to anyone who's willing to back you. Family members, friends, angel investors, you name it. But when it comes to the government does not support that, on that basis.
Do you want them to support that?
Sure, I would like them to, yeah. I mean, if they're going to invest money, and they're going to invest money into something that somebody's going to bring
But
something
wouldn't that make the government bigger? Wouldn't that make the government bigger? Ain't that another dependency thing?
It can, no,
Can.
but wait a second. It can in a way. Now, if we want to get some more government, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a.
You're figuring they're fucking it up, but you might as well take advantage of it and do it in a better way.
Well, what I'm saying is, if they're going to keep that in place, they're going to keep that in place where they're going to fund immigrants and people coming over here, like she said, didn't pay taxes. Then why not give it to somebody who's paying taxes?
Yeah, but the government's funding these immigrants, let's say, with tax dollar.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Well-
We're being-
so don't you? But some revenue that's, let's say, drawn back from this, because they got to make something on it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it go back to the taxpayer?
I think it should.
Well, they're reaping the taxpayer system like shit for medical and all that shit. I mean, come on.
But who do you think is paying to fund these people? It's us. The people who are working. And like Joe said it, there's 50, I didn't even realize it. He said it's up to 50-something%.
And now we're getting them licenses, driving licenses. What the
think
fuck?
about
I mean,
it.
come on.
Come on, think about it.
It's kind of ridiculous.
You know?
You want to come here, fine, but do it legally, do it right. They're coming across and
I
abusing the
think that,
system.
let's
You
say,
can't do that.
Immigration should be sought out after in a better way, because anyone that, let's say, comes to this country should be sponsored by someone here, okay? And there should be a time element on the amount of time that person could become a naturalized citizen.
That's just like Europe. They're very strict like that.
Yeah, there should be more strict.
But it was
strict-
like you
there
said,
should be a little bit stricter
the
law.
Romans used to welcome you in,
Right.
get your ideas, and then tell you to leave.
Right.
Americans welcome you in.
Right.
We give them ideas, put them in business, and the people who live here are,
All right.
Well, correction, Romans tax them too.
oh, sure.
Oh yeah, sure did Roman tax.
So I mean, it's complete. It's the complete reversal of what that ideology was,
distorted.
and that's why they lasted so long.
Right. Roman ideology was good, but then when it got corrupt,
It's based off corruption. They got too far.
anything, it's the same thing.
It happened with them when they got the emperor. It was based.
Yeah.
It was bound. The republic was bound to fail, and you got an emperor, and it manipulated itself, and then it
Right.
fucking collapsed.
Yeah,
But, I
don't
mean-
but America's just using the NWO to control it in a different way that Rome.
That's not America though. That's global.
It is global. Well, it's global, but
Yeah.
but
To use in
is it really
America.
global?
Oh yeah. Most come out of Europe. Higher the old money, not even
Yeah,
American.
whenever you have, let's say, interchange from, it's global. You interchange money, monetary.
Globalization. There's no more
Every
countries.
day.
There's no more countries.
Yeah.
Ask any CEO, president. There's no more countries.
Yeah.
There's free trade
You
zones.
came
That's
down
all
to
there
two types of
is.
currencies. You have the euro and you have
Yeah.
the dollar. That's yeah. What it
Yeah, the
comes down
renminbi.
to.
The renminbi's
Yeah,
making a move.
that'll change too, though.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Do you think we're going to stay the reserve currency?
It's bound to
You know,
fail.
the
It's
euro
inevitable.
might- and the renminbi might be
It's
the
inevitable.
domineering.
That's what I'm saying. The
Value.
renminbi may be the reserve
Yeah.
currency one day.
Yeah.
Possible. Whatever's
No,
whatever's
Chinese, the
no.
Chinese,
Chinese.
The renminbi is called. It's either the renminbi or the yuan. They call it.
Something's going to come out of China. It's going to be a new currency. Said they've been saying that for years.
Well,
But
that's what I'm saying. Is it going to be like this crossover, this crossbreed of currency that's like a?
whoever it is not going to be us. we're going to be buying it up. We're going to be not in charge of it.
Well, aren't they transacting oil now outside of the reserve
They're
currency?
trying to. That's what Saddam tried to do. That's what got him fucking necked.
Well, what about these oil companies and the ones that have the oils? How they could keep on raising oil and gas up, and it never stays like
Talking here.
it never stays to a certain
Why should it?
number.
Supply and demand, right?
Yeah, but we
They're a
have
company, they're-
oil sources here and gas resorts. Why would
Who's giving them that oil?
Yeah.
Letting them sell it.
Supply and demand rules the world.
They're a corporation. How can we say they can't make money off of their product? If they're
we
paying
don't
for that
have
ground to
buy
drill,
it. We could drill our own.
for how long?
And as well,
That's the problem. People say we do have reserves, but if we
Right.
tapped into them and started pulling it out, we'll last maybe 50 years. Be gone after that. Or out of a normal consumption, be
Well,
gone.
what about theirs? There's not going to be.
Those are going to go out too. It's an end game. You're absolutely right. It's fucked either way. They're trying to get as much money as they can out of it now. That's what all it's about.
Please, everything's a squeeze.
That's why the dollar's failing. The dollar's locked in the oil. As oil prices go up, the dollar
Dollar goes
goes
Dollar
down.
goes down.
Gets inflated, crazy inflation. Of course, it has to keep because it's based on oil. Well, it's just a start.
And there it's also a bogus, because it's not a true inflation. If you really knew what the inflation was,
Well, inflation is more of a banking type thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's rigged to begin with. It's all shit. It's a hidden tax. What it is.
well,
Should we add some levity to this thing? Do you want to go out, Anthony? tonight?
oh. Listen, I stay in my cellar, and I come out once in a while. And this is what gives me a little bit of, let's say,
Me too.
Speak into this. Go
a
on.
little bit of relief.
Do you find Anthony attractive?
Yeah.
Go,
Yeah.
Say it in the phone.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you.
Is he like the woman's man or a man's man?
Now, why would you ask a question like that, Billy? Of all,
We're adding like jumping some levity.
he's a woman's man.
Oh, he's not a man's man? He's a man's man, too, believe me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If he locked up with John for 2 months on the island, believe me, he'll be Greeking it.
Oh, my God.
And guess who's going to be
No.
Guess who's going to be the receiver?
The receiver. Oh, my God.
Right, he's the catcher.
The catcher.
Anthony's the pitcher.
Listen, I
I got to ask you a question.
have no control over this subject.
Ian, I have to ask you a question, Ant.
Yeah.
If you were on an island, between these two, which one would you kill to keep?
Good to know I'm delicious. Good to know I'm delicious.
Would you eat him, though? After you killed him?
Slowly.
Slow. You got to take a little bit off to keep me alive.
You'd have to eat him, man. You know?
Salt them.
Salt me?
You would have to because he's the only food.
How are you going to find salt in the
Residue from the ocean.
Oh, you're going to nut them, huh?
Well, you keep them in there like the alligators keep.
What you do is you put water in the pan and you scoop.
I need to be
minerals in,
sauteed. I need to be cooked
residue
with
will be
garlic.
salt.
No.
I need some
Like an
garlic.
alligator. They put them in the water, and you get real soft and chewy.
Yeah.
John, I never want to be in that condition. I'm not going to take no flight. Don't worry.
But he'd rather have the hole than the pole.
Ah.
The hole is better than the hole. Right, Aunt?
Yo, look at this, Ant. You want to question it? You want to put one in the hot seat? We can't do that. They're underage.
Underage. Yeah.
Too big, guys. Come back when you're 21.
But this is good. This is good. Yeah, this is a good stimulus in the sense that we're opening up doors to people's and making people more attentive of what's going on in the country. All right, and expressing the views of, let's say, the normal citizen.
Well, we got 2 minutes
Okay.
left anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
All right.
conditions
Ready?
are the conditions that we want to put out to the, let's say, the normal public is that a better understanding of what, let's say, the views of different people in a normal state of mind.
I think Joe is a good person to
Yeah.
have here because he really enlightened what we're trying to really do. I mean, I think that was, we need to get more people in there to give their opinions, and maybe we'll start a fire, you know?
I mean, you have people coming here, let's say right now, that let's say are contradictive against what government is doing. I guess that not everybody has a good view on, let's say, what government actually does.
No.
A lot of people really don't know.
They don't care.
Well,
No, they don't
It's
care.
not important to
Ant.
them.
It's not important. Like you said, America runs on Dunkin Donuts. All they want is their coffee,
yeah,
man.
and well, government runs the country.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that there's certain things that are, let's say, a drawback. The government has to
Yeah.
do what they have to do to make this, make this structure work. Do I believe in big government? No, I believe in balance. Okay, so like if something gets out of balance, you got to correct it.
Yeah. And you don't think we're definitely out of balance?
Yeah. If you start tipping, the load goes to one side, and
All right, let's sign
then
off.
you have to adjust.
Sign off.
All right. That brings
do you think?
the task our discussion ultraliberalism, and one thing I got to say about the conservatives and especially the movement today is that they're just such a bunch of fucking hypocrites when it comes down to
Yeah,
it.
but
It's just such a bunch of hypocrisy.
Everyone-
Look at me. You can't be pro-life and then pro-death penalty. You can't be all gun code to fight a war and then go fight it yourself. You just can't do that. And get off your high horse like you got the moral high ground, you're either religious or not. You're not. You don't have no high ground. You just pick the side, and that's the side you're dealing with, and you have nothing else to go by. Deal with it.
All right, this is the Three Wise Men from South Philly
Signing
Troop.
off.
Signing off.
was a rolling stone.